So, we talk a lot about trends, but this is a trend that's been going on for a bit. And so there's some stuff installed in the wild, and some of it is a bit of a train wreck. And I'm going to show you why. All right.
Okay.
If you look at this image here,
Yeah.
this is an exquisite image of reeding and or fluting used in an architectural detail. I love this image. It's restrained. It's beautiful, right? What do you think of this image, Dana? Do you like this room?
I think it's gorgeous. I'd love that to be my office. That's really nice.
So, yes, that's true. And then if you take a look at another way that this has been applied, reeding and fluting, it's been especially popular in kitchens. And the curved ended island, which took off literally like 2 years ago, this is a very nice treatment for it, reeding and fluting. And so this is a very nice example of it. You've got the island that has this lovely material of it in kind of a light note, sort of a natural light wood. And then the back wall is a completely different material, and they sort of complement each other really well. So these are good examples, and these I'm sure were inspiration for people. But what we have that's really happening in the field is more like, I don't know, the first image. This is the kind of thing that the intention of what the material was has been kind of bastardized by both the color and the overuse of it, right?
Can I tell you what I think about this particular photograph?
Please.
Yes. Is that it looks a little bit like Tiki Hut, if you know what I mean. I feel like I want to it's like honestly, I feel like I want to get a drink with a little umbrella in it and walk around and have like a party. That's what that looks like. And I think it's because it's too much of that and in the color that it's in.
If you look at image 3, here's another example of just beating the detail to death and mixing it with something else that competes as a focal point. And that's the problem, is tambour or reeding or fluting is a specialty material. And so when you have a focal point material like that, you want to isolate the materials down to just one place where it's contained and it makes itself special. So this space has way too much going on. It's got backlit onyx. It's got way too many curves. It's got a hood in one color of tambour material like a walnut. And I guess the island is another version of walnut, but they are not tied together. Then the panels on the cabinets in the back are another type of walnut, but they're not fluted. They are beating to death, and your eye doesn't flow to the single pointed edge of the island or just the hood. Yeah. Your eye goes all over going, what is all of this?
It doesn't make it special.
It doesn't make it special. That's exactly right. And it is a special material. If you take a look at the last image here, that's another problem. Again, it's just overused, right? And on top of that, they didn't bother to push a lot against the idea of the material. Like, for instance, they blended the stool selection exactly, or sort of exactly, with the reeding, right? And so they sort of disappear into it. So these are examples of taking a trend too far because they don't understand the importance of how to use it, right?
Got it.
So let's take a look at a couple of good examples. And so if people are thinking about using the reeding, these are better inspiration ideas, right? If you look at this first image here, it has that sweet little yellow light above it, but that's a simple rounded curve to that kitchen island, and they've added some simple fluting or paneling to it. That's nice. It's clean. The rest of the kitchen is completely different. How do you feel about that kitchen,
No,
Dana?
I love it. I think it's great. That's great.
Now, the second image has a different application, right? It's taking the idea of reeding or fluting and it's applying it to cabinet fronts. This can easily jump the shark, but why it works in this kitchen is that it's just the one, I don't know if that's the pantry wall or the refrigerator wall, and it is just that one wall, and you can see that the whole island is actually, and the perimeter cabinets are actually white, right? So they treat that specialty, they treat that area special
That's the refrigerator. You can tell.
Yes, see, that's a good example of it as well. It's made special by being contained just to that one wall. And the rest of the materials are complementary but secondary to this special focal point, right? Yeah. Also nice, kind of a flipping the switch again. They sort of did the idea of fluting on the island, and then the back peninsula of the kitchen, despite the fact that it has open shelves, and we'll talk about that another day. But the back wall is a totally different material. And so the natural fluting stands out and looks, special and important on that island.
In my opinion, I think that what's nice about it is you're not getting tired of the detail.
Yes, exactly. The minute you take a special detail like reading and fluting and overplay it, you do destroy the specialness of it, and all of a sudden you have a mess on your hands. When you look at older furnishings, which is where fluting kind of translated into interiors, not just from architecture, if you look at these chairs, for instance, I love these navy blue chairs, you can see that the fluting, right? It's on the legs, right?
Oh, yeah, right. And the table, the base of the table.
And the base of the table, yes, exactly. See how they've contained the fluting within the diamond pattern? This is actually a Gustavian, Scandinavian console. And so, we're talking about they had that detailing in the 1600s, but you see how they applied it. It was very special, very small amounts, because it was actually very hard to do. And so they kept it for special areas. So guys, here's reading and fluting. And I would say to you that if you are interested in the idea of incorporating that into your home, understand that it should be a focal point. Make it special. Don't plaster the room with it. And it should turn out beautifully if you make it a focal point.
Okay, so you know what? I know that you do these design sessions on the first Saturday of every month. So if you guys want to bring your reeded and fluted problems to us, you want to talk to people about that, and they can learn out more about it at www.lisalikeholt.com.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. We're starting these on Saturdays, and I'm super excited. Guys, sign up for it. Bring your problems, bring your plans, bring your pictures, whatever it is you want to ask me about, and we'll get digging.
Okay, guys. So listen, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you comment. We love that, and it actually makes a big difference. We read everything. And if you want to ask some questions about design, we'll even answer them there. So do that, and we will talk to you later.